So my main aim today is basically to remove the rest of the panels for painting, sanding and painting, and get as much sanding done as I can. Yesterday I removed a lot of the panels off, a lot of the doors and little trimmings, that thing where the old clock used to go, and yeah, I'm just looking to remove everything else today, like I say, and get as much sanding done as possible. I've managed to remove all the light fittings as well, so I want to repaint that black. I think it'll look quite cool with the rest of the finishings being in white. So yeah, let's get to work. See you a bit later.
Hi.
What a cute little caravan.
Oh, thank you.
What a sweetie.
Very nice.
Oh, that's perfect now to actually get organised for spring coming.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to give it a little bit of a renovation, a bit of a
Zhuzh.
facelift, a bit of a paint, and change the cushions a bit.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Love it.
good time to do it now.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. So next step, take all the handles off the doors, and basically from there I'll prep the panels for sanding, and then all the handles I plan on making like a black, like a nice gloss black, and yeah, see what it looks like from there. Get my streamline production going here. Let's have a look. One down, 3,000 to go. Not quite, but yeah. You know what I mean.
Cool. So before I sand, I'm just going to take off these hinges and repaint them, make them look more nice. And then after that I'll be sanding, getting ready for primer. So this is what it looks like at the moment. Obviously this is the first coat. I've already done on 2 coats underneath it, so it looks amazing. Well, the underside at least. Your first initial coat will never look great. It's mainly just to get coverage and to get the paint to stick to the primer. I can show you over here. So here's a close-up, obviously with the first coat. Nothing too special, does its job. And then at the back, look at the difference. So super stoked. Very excited to carry on. So let's get going. So next step is to spray paint all of these door handles. I've cleaned everything with a nice warm solution of this Selly's sugar soap, and I'm going to be just using this normal enamel black spray paint gloss spray. I tested it out on one handle yesterday and it tended to stick pretty good and it looked really nice. So yeah, I'm going to get onto that next. First coat just to get it to take about 30 minutes or so. I'll come back and just get another coat. Just let it bake in the sun. Right, it's time to spray the heater. As you can see, it doesn't look very good. Not too bad, just a bit outdated. So I'm just going to make that black. So just clean the surface with like a prep saw, just to get rid of any grease and so forth. Just give it a light scuffing as well. Welcome back, guys. Cool, 10:30 p.m. All of my handles are dry, so now it's time to fit them onto all of these lovely panels. Good times. Catch you in a bit. Cool, so everything is basically stripped out of the Caravan. I'm gonna start sanding now, getting all that ready for paint. Quite a bit of sanding to do. Gonna start with a roughish grit, and then if I need to, I'll smooth it out with a bit of a finer P rating. But yeah, let's get to work.
One eternity later.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's quite a cold morning here. South Island, New Zealand. Christchurch is probably about 4 degrees, 3 degrees at the moment. So my plan of action today, as you can see, I've removed everything, I've sanded everything down. So I'm gonna start cleaning up. I'm gonna give it a good vacuum, and I'm gonna start prepping the surfaces for painting. I'm going to use a Elldis paint prep, and that should hopefully clean up the surface quite nicely on all the areas that we have sanded. And yeah, I'll time lapse everything for you guys so you can check it out. Yeah, quite a fun project, I must say. It's a lot more work than what you actually initially think it is, especially when you start prepping and removing all the cabinetry and all that stuff. Start taping, masking everything off for painting. It's actually quite a bit of work, but it's cool. We're getting there, slowly but surely. And yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Cool, so next step, I'm just busy taping off the edges. I'll obviously make it a bit neater as I go along. So I'm just going to tape off all the edges, get that all ready, and from there basically start the painting process. Right, cool. So it is painting time. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a little tack cloth just to remove any particles or whatever that might be on there. And then I am going to prime it. And then you let it set for a few hours or so, and then give it a second coat, see what it looks like. And from there, paint your main color. What I'm going to use as a primer is the Resin Smooth Surface Sealer. And yeah, I will show you what paint I'll be using a bit later. I'm just going to do everything in white for now, and then the handles and stuff I'm going to be doing in black at a bit of a later stage.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Yeah, so there's one thing about New Zealand. The rain and a bit of hail literally came out of nowhere. It's people busy walking their dogs. Shame. And they got stuck in the rain. There's actually a dude down there busy walking. Can't really see through the glass now, but yeah. The thing about New Zealand, we've got good weather overall, but it is winter and the weather can literally change in an instant. So yeah, luckily I'm indoors in the caravan. That's not stopping me at this stage, but yeah, you'll see in about 10 minutes there's probably going to be sunshine again. Anywho, cool, back to work.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win at life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Morning everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Next step is to do a backsplash here in the kitchen area. I'm just gonna apply one of these vinyl adhesive ones which I got at Kmart. It was really pretty cheap, about $30 or so per pack. So what you have to do is you have to work from right to left for the overlapping process, otherwise it's not going to work. You're just going to make life difficult for yourself. So you have to basically draw out a template of the angles you need and basically trace it onto your sheet, cut it out how you need, and then work from right to left. So let's get back to work. Chat soon, cheers. Morning everybody. So the backsplash I managed to finish over the weekend. Looks pretty good. Just a little bit dusty now because my hands obviously get a bit dirty while I'm applying it, but I'll clean all that off a bit later. So next step is to do the vinyl flooring. It's also just adhesive, so you basically just cut and measure. It's tiles that you paste down on the floor, so I've already cleaned the area. I've wiped it down with a bit of sugar soap, just a damp cloth. You don't want it to be wet, it must be dry when you apply the stuff. So yeah, let's get down to work, and I'll time lapse most of it for you so that you don't get bored, but at least you can see what I'm doing. Cheers guys. So as I mentioned, it's just the vinyl adhesive planks, the oak look, that you just basically place into position and you just cut where necessary. So let's get going. Right, nice and snug in the corner. And it's as easy as that. It's the first one laid down. Fun and games is really going to begin with all the nooks and crannies. That's going to be a lot of fun. Welcome back, everybody. So the fun and games begin now. I can finally begin to attach the doors back in place. I managed to finish the flooring last night. It came out really good. There is one or two little spots I'm just gonna have to add a little bit more glue. Obviously not all of the Caravan floor is 100% level, so it's just one or two little spots like this, for example. Then I'm just gonna have to add a little bit more glue. But yeah, actually came out really good. Also, it's best to apply the flooring when it's relatively warm, from about 15 degrees, between 15 and 30 degrees Celsius. And it actually happened to snow here in the middle of the night, so it was really cold last night. So at least it's a little bit warmer now. So I've kept the door closed just to try and keep as much heat in as I can. But it looks good. Looks like it's sticking nicely. So time to attach all the doors. Fun and games begin. So it's finally time to come and put all the doors back in place. Quite excited now that you can actually see, you know, all the hard work that you've put in. You can actually start seeing the results now. So quite excited. Obviously with these upper cupboards and the kitchen and so forth, you get these little catches as well that you have to fit. But yeah, I'll just do one or two along with you guys, and then I'll just time lapse everything. But yeah, super excited. It's really starting to come along nicely now. Cool. And as I mentioned earlier, right in the beginning stages, always number and reference your panels. These bottom ones are going to be fun. Okay. Cool. That doesn't look too bad. Right guys, so I'm just gonna time lapse this. It's gonna take a while to do these bottom ones. Catch up with you soon. Right, so it's time to connect all the plugs back up. I didn't disconnect the mains at all. I only played around with the 12 volt because that's just positive and negative. The mains I left completely connected, so I'm just going to connect all of that back up again. Always make sure that everything is off and that you're not plugged into mains power as well. You don't want to end up killing yourself. Anyway, cool. Back to it.